Hey, how you guys doing today? We're going to be going over an HP Pavilion dv4. As you can see, the screen is starting to go out. We're getting a dead pixel line coming through the middle there. So we're going to take this apart, and we have a replacement screen that we're going to replace it with, and we're going to show you how to take the screen off, all the screws, and replace the screen. Okay, once we are ready to go ahead and start this process, you want to go ahead and power down your computer, and you're going to want to take the battery out of it, because just in case once we take the screen off there's any issues or anything, we don't want to spark something, or it's just best practice just to have the battery out of the laptop before you initially take the screen apart. Now this is a very simple laptop, so just to take the battery out, we just slide that over, pop our battery out, and now we are ready to flip it back over and take the screen apart. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is, as you can see, there's these little covers here in the bottom left and right corners. You're going to want to peel those back, and there's going to be screws there that we're going to want to take apart. Alright, once we got these plastic covers off, then you're going to use a little Phillips screwdriver, and you're going to unscrew these screws like so. And then once we get these screws off, you're going to want to use some kind of tool that looks just like this, and that's going to help us pry this whole frame apart so we can get to the actual screen. There's going to be more screws inside there. So let's go ahead and get that done. Alright, now we're going to get our tool here and we can start peeling this frame apart. So once we have the two screws off, go ahead and rotate your laptop up, and then you can use this tool to try to wedge yourself in there, and you can see I already kind of got it started. You can hear popping noises as I go along here, and that's just taking it outside of those clips. So yeah, once you have that all unclipped all the way around, then we should be able to get to more screws to get the screen off. This part's a little tricky because that's where the webcam's at, so it's a little more hard there. There you go. You want to be careful that you don't bend the plastic, because then you're not going to be able to get this back on. Alright, we got this whole side off now, and you want to pull that back, and then voila, you got your cover off. Now our next step is going to be taking these screws out of here, all on the screens. We're going to take those screws out now. And you want to be very careful taking these screws off, because once you peel back the screen, there's going to be a lot of wires back there that are tight, so you want to make sure you do it very gently as you take the screen off. Alright, once we got all 4 screws off in each corner, you can go ahead and slowly pull back the screen, and you just want to drop it right down on the keyboard, and you're going to see we have one ribbon cable here, and there's some tape around it that you're going to peel back the tape and then disconnect this ribbon cable, and then we can go ahead and connect the other ribbon cable to the new screen. I'm like using this tool again to get this plastic tape off, and then once that tape is off, this should be very easy to pop right off there. And then now we can put this screen aside and bring in the new screen. Alright, we have our new screen. So now it's going to be hard to do this one-handed, but we're going to want to plug this in just like so, and then put the tape back on it, put the screen up. Alright, we got our ribbon cable back in. We're going to go ahead and peel back our protective plastic cover here off the new screen. Once we have that off, then we can go ahead and screw in those 4 last screws and then reinstall that frame. And then alright, once you got the screws in, our trick for this is literally just put it in place, and then you're just going to really just snap it all back in. It's that easy. And you want to make sure you do it all the way around, and Alright, let's put those 2 last screws in now. Alright, now the moment of truth. We got our screen bracket back in, we got the screws back in, we plugged in our power. Let's go ahead and power this puppy up and see if we get a happy Windows screen. And we do. So you are all set. You just replaced the screen on an HP Pavilion dv4.